Hello, Jacob. Just got back from the Jets and the Vikings game and stuff like that, and well, let's go ahead and kind of break it down, shall we? Ugh. Again, why can't it never be easy with this frickin' team? Like, seriously? But I digress. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the Minnesota Vikings beat the New York Jets 27 to 22 on a goal line interception by Cam Bynum. Because of course it has to go down that way. Of course it has to go down that way. By the way, did I mention we were up 20 to 6 going into half? Whew. Again, can never be fucking easy, can it? But anyway, let's just go ahead and kind of break this down here. So, yeah, I mean, the Vikings looked really, really good on offense in the beginning, for about the first, I'd say, 25 minutes or so of the game. They were unstoppable. I mean, Cook and Madison were running up and down the field. Kirk had a couple of throws that he missed, one primarily to Jefferson and Hawkinson, and then there was one that he threw right to Jefferson that Jefferson dropped. I mean, I remember turning to my dad and talking to him about that, well, he drops the easy ones, but yet makes these just acrobatic, spectacular, holy shit, how did you catch that? But sometimes they just drop the easy ones. I have no idea why, whatever, but it didn't cost us in the end, thankfully, even though it very easily could have. But, yeah, I mean, our defense was holding them as best as they could. I mean, they held them to like 4 or 5 field goals. Mike White looked rattled in the beginning, threw an interception to Harrison Smith off of a tip drill, which, yeah, I mean, like I say, that first half, everything was clicking, everything was humming, everything looked solid. Madison, Cook had a touchdown each on the ground, and I'm thinking, great, we might finally have a game where we just, leave no doubts. Ugh. And then the third quarter happens. I mean, Mike White just woke up. Our defense, God bless them, tried as hard as they could. Our offense couldn't do anything for about the first 20 minutes of the second half. Again, the third quarter offensive woes. The third quarter could have cost us this game. And then when we get into the fourth quarter, the crunch time with about 6.5 to go, Mike White leads them down on a touchdown drive, where he was literally about a bottle cap right here, about this far from side to side, away from the end zone. I mean, on a 4th and goal, which at first was called a non-touchdown, turnover on downs, but then Robert Saleh challenged it, and it was a touchdown. So, after, 5 Greg Zuerlein field goals, including a 60-yarder, which, by the way, if you had Greg Zuerlein on your fantasy team this week, you may want to raise one of these as well, because I'm pretty sure he got you like 15 or 20 points just on kicking. Yeah, that was the Greg the Leg from, his Rams days, I mean, where he was just bombing them left and right. Legatron, basically. So, they were doing all they could to keep him in. And then we got a goal line stand with about 2-ish minutes to go or so. And they started driving it back down the field after we had to punt it away with about 2 minutes to go. And, yeah, I mean, that last literally 2 minutes was just an absolute, I mean, whoof, Maron. It was stressful for everybody. And then they get about 15-ish yards away, and then Cam Bynum intercepts the game-winning play. Again, my brain is still going, holy shit. But hey, alas, just like I've been saying pretty much most of this year, a win is a win. We're 10-2. Oh, this team makes no sense, do they? They really don't. But leave it to the Vikings, Just leave it to the Vikings, because we swept the AFC East this year, so, Again, a very, very tough division, by the way. Every single team is still in the race at this time. So this game still meant just as much to the Jets as it did to us, because, again, they're still in the AFC hunt. So, there's a lot on the line for them, too, going into this game. But, yeah, again, like I say, it was the defense that won us this game. And my dad was talking to me pre-game as we were walking over to the stadium from our Airbnb hotel type thing, which, by the way, very nice place, even though it's confusing as hell to get in and, well, parking. But, again, downtown Minneapolis, downtown bigger city parking, good luck. Usually costs you an arm and a leg anyway. That's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. So, but yeah, like I say, the Vikings are now 10-2. And, well, unfortunately, we didn't clinch the division because the Lions absolutely mollywomped the Jaguars, which I honestly thought was probably going to happen anyway. So, we get to go into Detroit next week for a chance at the NFC North. The Bears are officially eliminated from the playoffs because of the Packers. They were kind of showing highlights of the game when the Bears were actually winning. That didn't last long. And, of course, at that point, we're just like, ugh. And, of course, the Eagles absolutely blew out the Titans. Again, another game everyone probably saw coming. But, yeah, and also scheduling update, too, as of about, 20 minutes ago or so now? The Minnesota Vikings versus Indianapolis Colts will be played on Saturday, December 15th, I believe, at 1 o'clock. So, yeah. Saturday, December 17th at 1 o'clock, I should say. Saturday, December 17th at 1 o'clock, the Vikings will be playing the Colts at home. So, it's going to be a noon Central Standard kickoff. And, yeah, I mean, again, we're coming down to the end here, and can't necessarily sleep on the Colts either. Can't sleep on the Lions, because those are our next two opponents. And then we end the road at Chicago and at Green Bay, who are, or I should say at Green Bay, then Chicago. But regardless, though, who knows? More than likely, they'll be out of the race by the time we play them anyway. I mean, the Bears are already out of the race, are already done, but it is what it is. I mean, Vikings just find a way to get it done at the end of the day. Even though, again, I still want to see that signature victory, that just stomp on the throat of the opponent you're supposed to. And who knows, we might not have that this year. And maybe that's just the way the Vikings operate the best, is when their backs are against the wall because they're used to it and they know how to pull it out of their ass at the end of the day. So, but yeah, basically wrapping this up, the Minnesota Vikings defeated the New York Jets 27-22 on a Cam Bynum interception. Skol, baby. Ten and 2. 10-2. Still firmly that second seed in the playoffs. And if I had to be a betting man, I'd probably say more than likely we'll stay there. I mean, there's still a couple of intriguing matchups, especially that Eagles-Cowboys game on Christmas time. That'll be interesting because that could really, really determine a lot of things there. Especially in the NFC playoff hunt. And, of course, two of the Commanders and Giants also tied this weekend, which, well, so in other words, the NFC East is about the same as it was literally this time last week. I really don't know. So, yeah, I mean, that basically will wrap this up. So, stay tuned because I did get a confirmation email on Friday, I believe, that my reverse retro, the last one in the series, is on its way. Estimated time Thursday-ish, so we'll see. And, yeah, like I say, we're at the home stretch now for the Vikings. I mean, we just have a few more weeks and then we're in the playoffs, so. And barring an absolute collapse and meltdown, who knows, you know. So, until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good day.